Oh my god, guys. You see this? I'm charged with light. I'm charged with light. Okay? I'm charged with light. That's what I'm doing. That's the joke. Welcome to Gaming Watcher. My name is Rosen, and in this video I will talk about charged with light builds, because this is actually something that I've gotten some questions from some of you guys, and it's really not that complicated once you get into it. But I understand. I also felt like when I looked at it from the outside, I was like, oh man, I don't have the time or the energy to learn how to use these different mods in combinations with each other to become charged with light and then do different stuff. And yeah, but really when you get into it, it's really not that complicated. It's really simple, and it made it really easy to understand. So I'll just make this short guide to go through how you use the charged with light mods to do extra damage and stuff, because they're actually really awesome. You can do some really awesome builds with this very simply. So let's get into it. So to look at the mods, you will go into your character screen and you will look at your armor pieces, because that is where you make these builds. So it's usually in this slot, the fourth slot from the left. You have all of these different mods, and so what makes this really simple is that they color coded the mods. So all of the green mods are mods that make you become charged with light. So if you look at them, for example this one, taking charge, become charged with light by picking up orbs of power. So this is very simple. When an orb of power drops, you know those little orbs that drop when you use a masterworked weapon or your supers, they give you super energy back when you pick them up. And if you've got this mod equipped, they also make you charged with light. So charged with light is this little buff that comes up in the bottom left of your screen where buffs appear, and it can have stacks. So you can have several stacks of charged with light. And usually when you then use another mod that gives you, for example, bonus damage when you are charged with light, you will consume these stacks, and it tells you on the mod. So for example, let's say that I've got this one equipped. I actually have on another piece of gear, I think. Let's just go through my build here. Yeah, so I've got this one equipped. So whenever I pick up an orb of power, I become charged with light. The next mod that I then have equipped is this one, and it's the yellow one. And all the yellow ones are mods that do something when you're charged with light. So the green ones are ones that make you charged with light when something specific happens, and the yellow ones are ones that increase your damage, for example, when you're charged with light. They can also do other stuff, but let's look at them. So this one, called High Energy Fire, just gives me a bonus to my weapon damage, no matter the weapon. And each defeated combatant consumes one stack of charged with light. So if I have one stack of charged with light and I kill one enemy, I'm no longer charged with light, and I will have to again pick up an orb of power to become charged with light. But while I'm shooting that enemy, I have a bonus on my damage. So this is great for example, doing boss damage or just like powerful enemies. If you can become charged with light and you can start shooting at an enemy that takes a long time to kill, you will have a bonus damage for the entire time that you're damaging that one enemy. Okay, so those are the two base mods in this build that I'm running right now. And now I've also equipped this one that is called Stacks on Stacks. This one makes me gain an extra stack of charged with light for every stack I gain. So whenever I pick up an orb of power and I gain one stack, I gain one extra stack. So I gain 2 stacks of charged with light every time I pick up one orb of power. I've also got this one equipped. This makes me become charged with light by breaking a combatant's shield with the matching energy type. So this is great when you're running Nightfall, for example, so something where you have the modifier match game on, because match game means that it's very hard to take down enemy shields if you're not using the matching energy type. So for an arc shield you should use an arc weapon, for example. What this does is when I break that shield with the matching damage type, I also become charged with light, and then I can do additional damage to that enemy that had the shield on. So this is pretty nice. So I've just got 2 mods that makes me become charged with light, because then I'm sure that a lot of the time I will be charged with light. I will have stacks of charged with light. So that's it. That is it. All the green mods make you become charged with light, and let's just go through what they can be. So this one, for example, makes you become charged with light by finishing a combatant, but it will also consume 1/10 of your super energy. I don't like all of those finisher mods. I don't like that. I don't like getting my super energy cut down. So usually I don't use these, but you know, if you have specific builds where you get a lot of super energy back from something, it might make a lot of sense. So this one makes you become charged with light when you get multiple rapid precision final blows with linear fusion rifles or sniper rifles. This one makes you become charged with light by rapidly defeating combatants with precision kills from bows, hand cannons and scout rifles. This one does that while you're not charged with light, any kill or assist has a small cumulative chance to cause you to become charged with light. So what this means is the more kills and assists you get, the bigger the chance you will have to become charged with light at random. But this also has a penalty, which is -10 to the stat that governs your class ability recharge rate. So some of these have penalties like that, like they take down your discipline stat, or they take down your strength stat or something like that. I rarely use mods like that. I usually just use these very simple ones that doesn't have a penalty. It just makes me become charged with light when I do something simple. Then we have the yellow ones. So the one I was using was this one, high energy fire. It just gives me a bonus damage to any weapon. But I've also used this one. I made a video about the build that you can do with the Traveler's Chosen sidearm, where I used this one. This makes sure that when you're charged with light, reloading or readying a sidearm will consume all stacks of charged with light and convert them into stacks of a major damage buff, which are depleted as you damage combatants with that sidearm. This also has a penalty though of -10 intellect, and intellect is the stat that makes you regain your super faster. This one makes sure that while you're charged with light, using your grenade attack grants you super energy, consuming all stacks of charged with light. The more stacks you have, the more energy you gain, up to a maximum of 50% of your super energy. So this is actually pretty neat as well, because this is just using your grenade attack. It's not even killing or damaging enemies, just the fact that you use your grenade will give you back super energy. So this is pretty neat actually. Now they introduced a new thing in this season, which is the elemental well. And as far as I have seen, it works almost in the same way. You have one type of mod that makes you drop an elemental well, and then you have another type of mod that when you pick up an elemental well, it does something. It gives you some kind of bonus. So that is it guys. If you guys like this kind of video and you want me to do other videos on different kinds of mods like the warmind cell mods, or for example the new elemental well mods, I will definitely do those. I would love to kind of sit down and figure out how all of that works, because I haven't done that. I've never used a warmind cell build so far, and I've never used an elemental well build as well, but I would love to get into it. If you guys want to hear about it, I can make a guide and I can learn how to use all of that, so I can tell you guys about it. So if you like this video, please leave a like, and if you want to connect with me and other gaming watchers, we have a Discord. I'll leave a link in the description. If you want to do raid with us or play Destiny with us in general, that's the place to go. As always, thank you so much for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next video.